So here is another palette by Natasha Denona, the Natasha Denona Face palette. I'm gonna scooch over here so I can put some pictures here. So as you can see, this palette is just beautiful. I don't have it yet. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick it up or not, but I wanted to bring you this breaking news that there's a new palette on the market by Natasha Denona, and it is very similar to her Natasha Denona Glam palette. And this Love palette is very similar in terms of having a blush and a highlighter and 5 shades. However, the only difference is that it will come with less sparkly shades, so less shimmery shades. So let's talk about the new one here. Let me bring this one up first. A couple differences. So if you own this one in Canadian, this retails for $78. The new Natasha Denona Love Face palette retails in Canadian for $94.50. Why such a big price difference? So I think because of the price difference, I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up. However, it looks beautiful. So the outside packaging, it looks like it's a nice lilac pink, which I really love, and the actual cream blush inside, this one comes with a cream blush as well. It looks like a nice pink and a nice highlighter. So there's the cream blush in this one, which has dried up. However, if you use the warmth of your finger, it will eventually work again. So it's more of a drying formula, but look how beautiful it looks once you apply it to the hand. So that pink blush looks really, really pretty. Now, it has the same name, Love palette. So if you're familiar with Natasha Denona, this is her Love palette, and this is her mini crush palette right here. So you can see how the shades in the new palette could be a little bit similar to some of the shades from these two palettes right here. And let's talk about some of these shades. I love that cream blush and the Dream Glow highlighter. It's a very nice universal champagne shade. I would have loved maybe this palette, instead of a highlighter, to have a nice bronzer, universal bronzer if possible. I would have loved a bronzer in there because I use bronzer more than highlighter. Adding to the family of the best-selling Love collection, Natasha Denona introduces the new Love Face palette. It's a multi-use palette that showcases a buttery soft eyeshadows paired with a cream blush and highlighter, inspired by the need for taking a look from day to night. The eyeshadows arrive in creamy matte and metallic finishes alongside a sparkling foiled formula that makes its debut in a vintage rose shade. So that's that nice shimmery shade that we're talking about. The taffy pink blush features a fresh, bouncy texture that perfectly complements the champagne gel to powder highlighter, completing this do-it-all compact. The palette is 14.5 grams and the Glam palette is 13 grams. So it seems a little bit heavier. So there's more product in it. Now the shades are stunning. We have a very nice, it's like a nice purple shade, more of a wine color, and that's the Esme shade. Then we have the Juliet one. So the Esme one looks very similar to, well, not, it has more of a pink undertone from the picture, but I would say it looks more like this one right here from the Mini Crush palette. Now from the Love palette, maybe the same as Intense, just a little bit more on the mauvey side. So I don't see any similarities when it comes to the first shade right there. The Juliet does seem similar to Valentine in this palette, and it gives me a little bit more of, they pull more violet from what I see. This one's pull more red, so I don't see similarities in there. Maybe the Aiko, it's a darker shade. Maybe the Aiko is similar to this dark plum shade. It's hard to tell. It looks like a very dark plum shade, so maybe that's the most similar one that I see. This is from the Mini Crush palette. And then we have the Affinity, which is that nice sparkling shade. Now that one, I don't see it in any of this palette, so maybe that is a new one. And then we have the Giddy. Now Giddy seems similar to Soul, maybe right here, but again, this one pulls more red than that one. Also very similar to this one right here is Giddy. But again, I really don't think that these shades are the same shades that you find in the Love or the Crush palette. At least from what I see from the pictures, they just look, they pull more on the lilac and mauvey side. Now this is sold out on the Look Fantastic website. I'm sure we'll see it on the Natasha Denona website, along on the Sephora website. But this is such a beautiful palette. I don't know, the aesthetics of it, the pinks, the very soft pinks with the lilac undertone and that nice pink blush. It just pulls me towards this palette, and the packaging outside is just so cute. Now, all I have to say is that this palette I have been using a lot. I find it very useful on a day-to-day basis. I have everything I need in here, and I love this palette so much. I love that it also named where the shades should go. Now, the other difference is that these shades have their own name, so it doesn't tell you transition, inner corner, outer corner, and so on. I don't know how I feel about that highlighter. From the picture, it looks a little bit too dark for my fair skin tone. However, it could be an okay highlighter because it's like a champagne. So champagne highlighters usually work for fair skin tones, but it does look like it pulls more yellow. But it looks pretty. It's just, everything looks so pretty. I love the color story. The other difference is that you get 4 mattes and 1 shimmer only, where in the Glam palette you get 2 shimmers and 3 mattes. Now, that doesn't bother me because this shimmer I barely use. I usually use only this one for the inner corner. I do use the mattes more, but if you're more of a shimmer person and you love shimmers, then that could be a disappointment for you. But for me, having 1 shimmer shade, it's okay. I wish that that shimmer shade was lighter so that you can use it more for the inner corner and all over the eyelid. I see it a little bit more difficult to use this darker shimmer in the inner corner, but you can use it on all over the eyelid or outer corner. That's how I would use that. Anyways, I wanted to bring you this breaking news that a new Natasha Denona Love Face palette is going to be coming out soon. I don't have any more details at the moment. Now, I hope that this video is kind of helpful in making you decide whether you're going to grab it or not. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Are you going to purchase it or not? To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. I want to purchase it because I love her Glam Face palette. I find it very useful and I love the size. I love wearing it daily for fun and for very creative and fast looks. And this one, I would feel the same, but I don't know if I need it because if I do have a lot of pinks in here and in here, I don't know if I need another pink palette. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let me know down below if you're gonna grab it or not. And I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.